Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Yep.
It is, as always, great to have you with us.
It's good to be back.
Now, usually when we sit down here, we're staring at this stack of, heavy, dense research papers.
Oh, yeah. Footnotes for days.
Exactly. We've covered everything from quantum computing to really complex geopolitical history, the future of AI. But today
A is different.
Today, the stack looks a little different, yeah.
It does indeed. It looks deceptively simple.
It really does. Today, we are looking at a set of scripts from the Red Panda English podcast. Specifically, we're analyzing parts 1, 2, and 3 of their series that's titled Talking About Your Day.
Right.
And I know what some of you listening might be thinking right now. You might be thinking, wait a minute. I tuned in for, high-level analysis, not a primer on how to say good morning.
Which is a fair reaction. On the surface, I get it.
You do.
I do, but here's the thing, and this is exactly why I pushed for this topic today. The ability to describe your daily routine is, well, it's arguably the most critical data set in human communication.
The most critical. That's a bold claim.
I stand by it. It's the operating system of social interaction.
The operating system. Unpack that for me.
Think about it. When you meet a friend or a colleague or maybe even a potential partner, what's the first ping? What's that handshake protocol?
It's how's it going? Or how was your day?
It's almost always how was your day or what have you been up to?
That is so true. It's the universal opener.
Exactly. And if you can't answer that question with a little bit of nuance, with some texture or with the right vocabulary, the connection fails.
You're just stuck at the surface level.
You remain a stranger. So even though this source material, these scripts about our two characters, Aaron and Evan, might seem basic, they actually contain the code for building relationships.
So our mission today isn't just to, list vocabulary words.
No, not at all.
It's to look at these scripts and really deconstruct the narrative arc of the human day. We want to extract the code that lets you, the listener, turn a boring routine into a story that connects you with other people.
Precisely. We're going to treat these simple scripts with the same analytical rigor we'd treat a white paper on economics.
I love that.
Because for an English learner, or really for anyone trying to be a better communicator, this is their economy. It's the economy of words and attention.
And we should probably mention, we're keeping our specific target audience in mind here.
We are.
We know many of you listening might be using this deep dive to sharpen your own language skills.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep our pacing very deliberate today.
Slow and steady.
Yeah. We're not going to drown you in slang or talk a mile a minute. We're aiming for absolute clarity.
Right. The goal is accessibility without sacrificing depth. We want to mirror that learner mindset. We're going to take this step by step, section by section.
Okay, so let's set the stage. Who are our guides in the source material? We've got 3 main figures. We have Aaron, we have Evan, and then we have a vocabulary expert who shows up later named Crystal.
And Aaron and Evan are great because they serve as foils for each other. They're like two sides of the same coin.
They really are.
They represent two completely different philosophies of living.
It's the classic dichotomy, isn't it? You have structure versus comfort.
Discipline versus flow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And watching how they move through the same 24 hours, it gives us so many different linguistic tools and different perspectives.
And then Crystal comes in at the end, sort of like the analyst, to help us categorize everything we've seen.
A neat summary.
Yeah, but the story, the real narrative, it belongs to Aaron and Evan.
Okay, let's stop teasing it and let's start living it. We're going to follow the sun. We're going to track a full 24-hour cycle. We start where everyone starts.
At the beginning.
Section 1, the morning routine. The source material calls this section morning energy.
Or, in Evan's case, the complete lack thereof.
Right. The script opens with the universal struggle, the wake-up call.
It's so interesting how the script immediately characterizes them through their relationship with the alarm clock.
It's instant.
It is. We get Aaron first. He says, quote, "I woke up early, had a nice cup of coffee, and felt ready."
Ready. Let's pause on that word. It's such a loaded word there.
It is, isn't it?
It implies he was prepared for the day before the day even started. He's proactive. He's on the offense against the morning.
Exactly. He's meeting the day head on. But then we have Evan.
Oh, Evan.
Evan is playing defense from the very first line. He admits right away, "I'm a bit sleepy, to be honest."
Which is so honest. And that leads us to the antagonist of the morning story, the alarm clock.
Or more specifically, the snooze button.
The source material highlights this word specifically. Snooze. S-N-O-Z-E. It's a funny word when you really look at it.
It is.
It sounds like what it is. It sounds like a sleepy buzz.
It does. It sounds so soft and gentle, doesn't it? Snooze. It sounds like what you want to do.
It sounds tempting.
Very. But notice the grammar the script uses here. The text makes a really key distinction in the verbs. Aaron says his alarm goes off at 6:30 a.m.
Let's pause on that phrase, goes off, because that is so counterintuitive for a lot of learners.
It really is.
If a bomb goes off, it explodes. If a gun goes off, it fires. But if I turn a light off, it stops working. English is just balanced sometimes.
It's notorious for these phrasal verbs. In the context of an alarm, goes off means activation. It initiates the noise. It starts ringing.
So Aaron's alarm goes off, and even he, Mr. Ready for the Day, admits he hit snooze.
He does, but he says usually twice.
Which, let's be honest, is already a little indulgent. Twice is maybe, 18 minutes of extra sleep.
If the default is 9 minutes, yeah, it's a little treat. But then we look at Evan.
Evan hits it 5 times.
5
times. If the default snooze is 9 minutes, which it often is on smartphones, that is 45 minutes.
45 minutes of fragmented, low-quality sleep.
It's not even real sleep. It's just fighting the morning for almost an hour.
It is, and the script uses this to teach a very specific cultural and linguistic point. When you talk about the snooze button, you almost always use the verb hit.
That's true. You don't press the snooze button, you hit it.
You hit it.
Why do you think that is? Is it the emotion behind it?
I think so. Press is mechanical, it's neutral. You press an elevator button.
Right.
But hit is emotional. It's aggressive. You're angry at the morning. You're fighting the day. It paints this picture of Evan, fumbling in the dark, smacking his phone, just desperate for a few more minutes of oblivion.
And I think that's why Evan is the more relatable character for a lot of people.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Aaron is who we want to be up at 6:30, ready to go. But Evan is who we actually are on a cold Tuesday morning.
That is a very fair assessment. I see myself in Evan for sure.
Me too. So eventually the snooze battle ends. They are vertical. They're out of bed.
A victory in itself.
And now comes the next phase. Hygiene. Getting clean.
And again, the source material uses this to show character. We have the cold water versus the warm shower debate.
A fundamental divide in humanity. Aaron washes his face with cold water.
Which is, it's intense.
It's an aggressive way to start the day.
It is utilitarian. It's purely functional. It wakes you up immediately. It's a shock to the system, increases blood flow. The script calls him brave for this, and I think that's the right adjective.
It does require a certain amount of courage to just slap freezing water on your face at 7 a.m.
It really does. Meanwhile, Evan says something that I think is one of the most useful sentences in the entire script for a learner.
What's that?
He says, I need a warm shower to feel like a human being.
To feel like a human being. Let's just unpack that phrase for a second.
Please.
It suggests that in his natural state, upon waking, he is subhuman. He's a zombie. He's a creature of the swamp.
He's not himself yet.
The shower is a transformative ritual for him. The water isn't just cleaning dirt off his skin. It is literally restoring his humanity. It's waking up his soul.
That's a beautiful way to put it. And the adjective they land on to describe the result of this whole hygiene routine is fresh.
Fresh. F-R-E-S-H. Now, usually when we think of fresh, we think of food, right?
Yeah.
Fresh bread, fresh vegetables.
Right. Fresh fish.
But applied to a person, what does fresh really imply?
It implies new. It implies that the sleep, the sweat, the grogginess from the night, it's all been washed away. You are reset.
It's more than just clean, then.
Oh, much more. Clean is just a physical state. I feel clean is about hygiene. I feel fresh is a state of mind. It's about energy. It's a positive, energetic word.
So they are fresh. They are theoretically awake. Now they need fuel. We move to breakfast.
And the menu here is culturally very interesting. Evan has toast with peanut butter and a big glass of orange juice.
That just screams North American breakfast to me. The peanut butter especially.
It does. It's quick, it's high in calories, and it requires zero cooking skill.
It fixes character.
It fits Evan's night owl vibe perfectly. He doesn't have the energy to cook. He just wants to assemble some food and eat it as fast as possible.
Aaron, on the other hand, is actually cooking. He's making eggs and eating fruit.
Getting that protein, it's a much more deliberate meal.
But the real insight here, for me, is how Aaron identifies himself. He doesn't just say, I like coffee.
No, that would be too simple.
He says, I am a coffee person.
And that construction, that phrasing, is so common in English, but it's actually kind of weird if you stop and think about it. I am a noun person.
It's a claim of identity.
It is. It means this thing, in this case, coffee, is central to my personality or my daily function.
You can be a dog person or a cat person.
A morning person, a night person, a beach person, a mountain person.
It's a shorthand. It's a really quick way of telling the world what tribe you belong to.
Exactly. And it sets expectations. If you tell me I'm a coffee person, I immediately know, okay, I should probably not start a complex conversation with you until you have had that first cup.
It's a warning label.
It can be. Handle with care until caffeinated.
So they're fed, they're caffeinated. Now comes the departure, the ritual of leaving the house. And the script mentions the checklist.
The Holy Trinity. Phone, wallet, keys.
I do this little tap dance every morning.
Yeah.
Front left pocket, front right back pocket. It's a physical habit.
It is. It's muscle memory. And Evan shares a little anecdote here about forgetting his phone once. He says, I felt lost all day.
Lost. Again, here's a word that usually means something geographical. I don't know where I am on a map.
Right.
But here, he knows where he is. He's at work. He's not geographically lost.
No, geographically he's fine, but psychologically he's adrift. He's disconnected from his network. It shows our dependency on technology for sure.
But linguistically, it's a great metaphorical use of the word lost. You can feel lost in a conversation, lost in a new job, or, like Evan, lost without your phone.
It's a very versatile word for that feeling of disorientation.
And this brings us to the first major deep dive concept that the character Crystal introduces later, but it fits perfectly right here. The idea of habit.
Yes. A habit, the source defines it as something done regularly, which is true, but I think it's a little more than that.
How so?
A habit is something done automatically, without conscious thought. Aaron checking for his keys is a habit. He doesn't think, step one, I must now check for my keys. His hand just goes to his pocket.
The body does it for him.
Exactly. And language learning, when you get right down to it, is essentially just building a new set of speech habits.
That's a great point. It's about making the grammar and vocabulary automatic.
And the toolbox sentences, at the end of this section of the script, they really highlight the grammar of habit. Things like, I wake up at 7, I drink coffee, I get dressed.
It's the simple present tense.
And that is the key takeaway for our learner audience here. When you describe your daily routine, your habits, you don't use the continuous tense. You don't say, I am waking up at 7 every day.
No, you say, I wake up.
Because it's a fact. It's a recurring truth. It's a habit.
It's the timeless present. Okay, so they have successfully navigated the morning. They are out the door.
A huge achievement.
Which brings us to section 2, the grind, the busy hours.
And the first hurdle of the busy hours is the commute.
Commute. There's a word that carries a lot of baggage.
It does, doesn't it? Strictly speaking, it's just the journey from home to work and back. But culturally, the commute is often seen as dead time.
Wasted time.
Yeah, it's this weird transition space. You're not quite in your personal life, but you're not in your professional life either. You're in limbo.
And the script contrasts their commutes beautifully. Aaron takes the subway.
And his two adjectives for it are fast but crowded.
Crowded. There's a visceral word.
It really is.
It comes from crowd, obviously, a group of people.
Yeah.
But crowded has a negative connotation. It implies too many.
It's uncomfortable. It implies a lack of personal space, being pressed up against strangers.
And how does Aaron deal with the crowd? He insulates himself.
He puts on his headphones, listens to music or podcasts. He creates a little privacy bubble for himself.
Which is standard subway etiquette in almost any major city in the world, right?
Absolutely. You ignore everyone around you to survive the crowd. You stare at your phone or the floor, or you listen to something. You create your own world.
But Evan's a bit of a romantic, isn't he? He takes the bus.
He does. He says it's slower, but he likes seeing the city.
He's actually looking out the window.
He's treating his commute as a little sightseeing tour. He's engaged with the world outside. However, he introduces the nemesis of the commuter, the great villain.
Traffic.
Traffic.
Now, this is a noun that trips up a lot of learners.
It does, because it's an uncountable noun.
Right.
You can't have a traffic or two traffics. It's just traffic. It's like water or air. You can't count it.
It's a fluid mass of vehicles.
So you say there is a lot of traffic, not there are many traffics.
Right.
And traffic is the universal excuse. It's the perfect scapegoat. If you're late for anything, you just say, traffic was bad.
And nobody questions it.
Nobody. It's considered an act of God, unavoidable.
So they survive the commute. They finally arrive at the office. The script tells us they're both software engineers.
Which is an interesting choice of profession because it really shapes their day. It's sedentary.
Yeah, they're at desks. They're looking at screens all day long.
Right. And how does the workday begin? Not with coding, but with a ritual.
The ritual of the inbox.
The script says they have about 50 emails waiting for them.
Which sounds about right. Maybe even a little low for some people.
And then, after the emails, the meeting.
The morning meeting. I feel like we need a moment of silence for everyone stuck in a morning meeting right now as they listen to this.
I agree, but notice the specific vocabulary the script uses to describe what happens in that meeting. They discuss tasks.
Why tasks and not just work? What's the difference there for a learner?
It's a matter of nuance and scope. Work is the general concept, the big picture. I go to work. I have a lot of work.
It's abstract.
Very. But a task is a specific, actionable item. Fix this bug, email this client, update this spreadsheet.
It has a beginning and an end.
Exactly. You can complete a task, you can check it off a list, you can never really complete work. Work is endless.
That is a terrifying philosophical point.
Right.
Work never ends, but tasks do.
And that's why completing a task feels so good. It gives you a little hit of dopamine, a sense of accomplishment. And Aaron compares his job to solving a puzzle.
Which is such a healthy way to frame it.
It is. He sees the task not as a burden, but as a game, a challenge to be overcome.
But even games get tiring. Which leads us to the oasis in the desert of the workday.
Lunch.
Evan calls it the most beautiful word in the English language.
And he's not wrong.
I don't disagree. Lunch is sacred, but again, the contrast in how they handle it is so telling. Aaron is the packer.
He brings his lunch from home, rice, chicken, and broccoli.
The bodybuilder special.
It's disciplined, it's cheap, it's healthy. He brings it in a box from home, very efficient.
And Evan is the buyer. He goes out. But listen to his reasoning. He doesn't just say, I want to eat a sandwich. He says, it's nice to get some fresh air.
Get some fresh air. That is a phrase worth memorizing for any learner.
Why?
Because it implies that the air inside the office is, well, it's stale, it's used, recycled. He needs to physically leave the building to reset his brain.
It connects back to his morning shower, doesn't it?
How so?
He needs these external sensory changes, warm water in the morning, fresh air at noon, to regulate his mood. Aaron seems to regulate from within, with his discipline.
That is a brilliant observation. I hadn't thought of that. Aaron is internal regulation. Evan is external regulation.
Wow. So lunch is over. They return to their desks. And then the inevitable happens, the biological crash.
The dreaded afternoon slump.
SLUMP. The word even sounds like what it is.
It does. Your posture slumps, your shoulders slump, your energy slumps.
It's that 2:30 p.m. feeling where your brain just turns to fog. You're staring at the screen, but nothing is going in.
Nothing. Aaron, ever the strategist, fights it with tea. He wisely switches from coffee to tea in the afternoon.
A very wise move. Lower caffeine, a smoother delivery. And the push through, working until 5:00 or 6:00 p.m.
And here we get the payoff word for the entire work section. When they finally close that laptop, how do they want to feel?
They want to feel productive.
Productive. Productive. It means you produced something. You aren't idle. You achieved your goals. You completed your tasks.
It's so interesting that our society values this feeling so highly.
What do you mean?
I mean, we often seem to want to feel productive even more than we want to feel happy or content during our work hours.
That's true. I had a productive day is one of the highest compliments you can pay yourself in the modern workforce.
It justifies the fatigue.
Yes, it makes the tiredness feel good. It was earned.
So the laptop is closed. The sun is setting. We are moving into the final act. Section 3, evenings and relaxation, or as the source calls it, winding down.
This is the great transition. This is where the day shifts gears from doing to being.
And the commute home is described as relaxing. Why? The bus is still slow. The subway is still crowded. What's changed?
The internal state has changed. The pressure is off.
Wow.
You aren't anticipating the tasks anymore. You're leaving them behind. You're anticipating comfort.
And when he gets to his door, Evan uses that classic idiom, home sweet home.
A classic for a reason. It just means there is no place better, no place safer than your own sanctuary.
And what is the first ritual of entering the sanctuary?
The changing of the clothes. Immediately.
Aaron puts on comfortable clothes.
AKA sweatpants.
The uniform of the evening.
The official uniform of relaxation. And let's talk about the word comfortable. It's a long word, but in spoken English, we almost always swallow the middle syllables.
Right, you don't say comfortable.
No, if you enunciate every syllable like that, you sound like a robot. You say comfortable or comfortable.
It just flows.
It does. And the focus of the word is on the physical sensation. Soft fabrics, loose waistbands. It's a physical signal to the body. We are safe. We can stop performing now.
So the body's comfortable. Now, dinner. We've talked about breakfast and lunch. Dinner feels different. It's the social meal.
For Aaron, yes. The script says he eats with his family. And what do they do while they eat?
They talk about their day.
This is the meta moment, isn't it?
It really is. The whole deep dive is about talking about your day, and the characters in the source material are literally talking about their day.
It shows that this narrative, the story of what happened to you since you woke up, is the primary currency of family connection.
That's a profound thought.
I mean it. If you don't share your day with the people you live with, you're just roommates eating food in the same room. Sharing the story is what makes you a family.
Wow. And Evan, he's a solo act for dinner. It's cooking again.
He is. He says, I love cooking. It helps me relax. Notice that sentence structure. It helps me verb.
Cooking helps me relax.
Reading helps me sleep. Running helps me think. It's a great structure for learners to adopt.
And for Evan, the process of cooking, the chopping, the stirring, the smelling, that is his therapy. It's his transition away from the workday.
Which brings us to the core vocabulary of the evening. The phrasal verb, wind down.
Phrasal verb alert. To wind down.
Picture an old mechanical toy or a clock. You have to wind it up tight with a key to make it go. It's full of tension.
That's us during the workday. Tightly round.
Exactly. When it runs out of energy or when you want it to stop, it unwinds. But humans, we don't just stop. We have to intentionally release that tension.
So winding down is the active process of relaxing. It's not just stopping.
Yes, that's the key. You can't go from 100 miles per hour to 0 instantly. You'll crash. You need a cool down lap. And the script gives us different methods.
Right. For Aaron, that cool down lap is playing guitar or studying languages.
Which, again, sounds like work to me. Studying a language to relax.
That's Aaron for you.
But it's what you could call active relaxation. It engages a different part of his brain. He's resting the coding part of his brain by using the music or language part. It shifts the focus.
Whereas Evan watches a movie. That's passive relaxation.
And both are completely valid. Both are methods of winding down. It just depends on what your brain needs at that moment. Does it need distraction or does it need a different kind of engagement?
And finally, we reach the end of the line. Bedtime.
The hygiene routine repeats. Brush teeth, wash face. The body knows the signals. But there's one final conflict. The final boss battle of the evening.
The phone.
The glowing rectangle of doom. Aaron says, I try not to look at my phone in bed, but it's hard.
It is the universal modern struggle. The blue light, the endless scrolling. We all know we shouldn't do it.
And we all do it. Notice the word he uses. Try. I try.
It implies failure.
It implies a good intention that is often defeated. He wants to stop, but he often fails. It makes him very human, very relatable in that moment.
And then the script ends simply. Close my eyes and go to sleep.
And the cycle is complete, ready to start all over again.
Before we move to our final thoughts, I want to bring in the third character we mentioned at the start, Crystal.
Right, the vocabulary expert.
She provides a vocabulary recap in the source material, and I think it's worth looking at the list she chose.
I agree. The specific selection of words is very deliberate.
She lists 10 words. Let's run through them. Snooze, fresh, commute, crowded, task, productive relaxing, wind down, comfortable, and habit.
Okay, so we've touched on all of these, but I think looking at them together as a curated list is really insightful.
Why these 10? Why not, email or shower or coffee?
Because if you look at that list, it's not just a random collection of words. It's a narrative chain. It's a story.
Show me.
Watch this. You wake up and you hit snooze. You take a shower to get fresh. You brave the crowded commute. At work, you tackle your tasks so you can feel productive. You finally go home to get comfortable and wind down so you can have a relaxing evening. And the whole thing, from start to finish, is a habit.
Wow. You just told the entire story of modern life with 10 words.
That's the power of high-frequency, high-utility vocabulary. You don't need a million words to be fluent. You need the right words that connect your experiences together.
That's such a crucial point for anyone learning a language. It's not about quantity, it's about utility.
Exactly. These words are the skeleton key to describing a day.
I want to double-click on that last word, habit, one last time. Because looking at Aaron and Evan, their entire days, their entire personalities as presented in the script are defined by their habits.
Absolutely. Aaron has habits of discipline. Waking up early, making a healthy lunch, active relaxation.
And Evan has habits of, well, let's call it ease or comfort.
The snooze button, buying lunch for fresh air, passive relaxation with a movie.
But neither one is presented as wrong.
No, and that is so important. The script isn't moralizing. You can be a night owl like Evan and still be productive. You can be an early bird like Aaron and still need to wind down. The language is flexible enough to describe both lifestyles with respect.
So as we start to wrap this up, what is the big takeaway for our listeners today? We've analyzed the script, we've dissected the words. What's the call to action?
I think the main takeaway is to accept the Evan challenge.
The Evan challenge. I like the sound of that. What is it?
In the script, Evan suggests, practice describing your day tonight before you sleep.
It sounds so simple.
It is simple in concept, but it's hard to do consistently, and it's incredibly powerful. Tonight, when you are lying in bed, hopefully not looking at your phone.
Trying not
to, narrate your day in your head. Use the past tense. I woke up at 7. I felt tired. I drank coffee. I went to work by bus. The traffic was bad.
It's like keeping a diary, but orally or mentally.
Exactly. And what it does is it forces you to retrieve the vocabulary you've learned. It turns passive knowledge words you recognize into active knowledge words you can actually use.
And if you get stuck, if you're lying there and you realize you don't know the word for a meeting with my boss or the photocopier was broken,
then you've just identified exactly what you need to learn tomorrow. It's a self-diagnostic tool. It perfectly reveals the gaps in your own vocabulary.
I love that. It's not just practice, it's a targeted lesson plan for yourself. By yourself.
Always.
Okay, so that's the practical advice. Before we sign off, I know you always have one final, more philosophical thought for us to chew on.
Well, we touched on it earlier, this idea that language shapes reality.
Right.
If you describe your commute every day as a nightmare, you will arrive at work angry and stressed. Your body will believe it.
But if you describe it as my podcast time, like Aaron, you might arrive feeling informed or entertained.
Or if you describe it as my sightseeing time, like Evan, you might arrive feeling a little more connected to your city.
So the words you choose to narrate your own habit actually change how you feel about that habit.
They absolutely do. So I'll leave the listener with this question to consider. Look at your own day. Look at your tasks and your habits. Do the words you use to describe them make you feel productive, or do they make you feel relaxed? Do they build you up or wear you down? The story you tell yourself about your day might be the most important story you tell.
That is a very powerful thought to end on. Choose your words, change your day.
Something like that.
Well, this has been a fascinating journey through the mundane. We took the simplest thing in the world, a Tuesday, and found all the complexity and humanity inside it.
It was a real pleasure. I hope everyone listening feels fresh and ready to tackle their next task.
And we will catch you on the next Deep Dive.
Goodbye, everyone.